Be a jerk? Then you don't get the house. This is a story about my father's decision to stand up to a particularly unpleasant buyer, shared with his permission. My grandparents built and lived in the same house on 5 acres of land since the early 70s. It was a small-scale farm for their family while growing up. They both passed away within a month of each other a few months ago. Their children, my parents, aunts, and uncles, didn't need the house, and none of their kids, my siblings, cousins, or I, could afford it. The property was held in a trust, so all siblings needed to agree on decisions regarding the sale. Most just wanted to sell it quickly and move on with their lives. After spending a couple of months cleaning the property, making minor repairs, and addressing some needed updates, like a new roof and cosmetic work on the foundation, we put the house on the market. Comparable estimated the property value at over $850K, but considering the needed work, we listed it at $830K. Interest was tepid for a couple of months, so we decided to lower the price to $740K. That's when a particularly unscrupulous realtor and his wife showed interest. They were selling their house in a more urban area and were under contract for an impressive amount of money. My father didn't ask for specifics. After some back-and-forth negotiation, the price was settled at $740K, which all siblings agreed upon. It was disheartening to see the property leave the family, but no one could afford or needed such a large space. The buyer represented himself as his own realtor, which, while not illegal, seemed quite underhanded. He started demanding reductions for various things, like the cost of removing outbuildings, a horse corral, tack shed, greenhouse, and workshop, claiming they were hazards even though they passed building codes. The buyer's demands kept lowering the price, eventually pushing it nearly below $600K. With about $3K tied up in escrow and his deadline approaching, the buyer continued to demand more. He missed his deadline, losing his $3K deposit, and asked for a final price of $580K. At this point, my father had had enough. He decided to take action. He reached out to a nephew who had horses and needed more property for training and riding space, but couldn't afford the house at the original price. My father offered the house to him at just over $600K, and he could afford it. All siblings agreed to this change, so they rescinded the offer to the unscrupulous buyer through their realtor. The buyer was furious. Our realtor had to deal with the fallout, but took some satisfaction in informing him that his own actions were the cause of his losing the house. We are now waiting for the final paperwork to be signed, which the buyer was delaying in a last-ditch effort to retaliate. But once it's finalized, the house will stay in the family. It may not have sold for its full value, but sticking it to that buyer felt worth it. Update. The buyer finally signed the termination paperwork yesterday. My cousin will start the buying process on Monday. Thank you all for the support, laughs, and horse puns. They really made my day.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below to let me know your thoughts or if you have any questions. And as always, keep exploring and stay awesome. See you in the next video.